Some transfers just happen on their own, but there are some others that once completed set a host of other things in motion. It's those ones that fall into the latter category that we're here to talk about today. These are 8 transfers which are creating a domino effect this summer. Let's start with the Yan Diomande deal. His big move to Real Madrid is expected to affect a lot of things this summer. A whole lot. First of all, it could cause Viní to leave the club. We've already heard that the Brazilian is considering leaving after the club just added another expensive winger to the fold. This Diomande transfer perhaps makes him feel less than appreciated and unsure about his future at the club, so he's considering leaving right now on his own terms. With that being said, both Arsenal and Liverpool are monitoring him very closely. If Diomande wasn't signed, this would probably not have been a topic at all. Also, remember that the 19-year-old winger had initially reached an agreement with PSG, saying it was his dream club and all that. Moving to Real Madrid now means that PSG would likely go for someone else. Maybe it'll force them to double their efforts for Magna Zakliouche or Julian Alvarez, or they could go all out for Ferran Torres, who they've been heavily linked to in recent days. There's also the option of completely blocking Bradley Barcola's move, which could then force Liverpool to explore other options like Francisco Conceição. And of course, having lost one of their best attackers and with a lot of money in their pockets, RB Leipzig will be on the hunt for 1 or 2 new players this summer. The knock-on effect this one transfer can have in this window alone is just crazy, and it feels endless. There could also be a similar effect if Rodri joins Real Madrid this summer. It's already been established that the Spaniard wants the move so badly, and in fact, it's because of that he's delayed signing a new contract with City. Real Madrid have started to explore it, and according to reports, they're now just waiting approval from the president to complete this one. If this goes through, then it's likely to affect a few things in this window. First of all, it could affect City's chase of Ayoub Bouhaddi. The English Giants have already shown interest in the teenager after his good World Cup outing with Morocco, but as of now, they're not sure whether they want him this summer or next year. Rodri leaving will probably force them to sign him right away. On the other hand, Rodri moving to Madrid could facilitate an Aurelien Tchouameni move to Man United. The Red Devils have already shown interest in the Frenchman, and they would love to add him to Andre Santos and Yuri Tielemans, whom they've already signed in this window. But that deal likely won't happen unless the Rodri move to Madrid is done and dusted. Speaking of Manchester City though, the exit of another one of their players this summer is almost entirely dependent on Torino right now. How? Who? Tell us if you know in the comments, and we'll see if you're right soon. While you're there, if you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, go do that right away so that you never miss out on our amazing content. Done? Okay, back to the video. Ibrahim Abar has completed a move to Sporting CP for €20 million, and that is now expected to lead to Ousmane Diomande leaving Sporting to join Nottingham Forest for about €40 million. Bar was close to joining Strasbourg, with an agreement already having been reached between the clubs and the players' camp, but he failed the medicals and everything fell through. This allowed Sporting to come in and snatch him. If this transfer had not happened, then maybe Forest would not be getting Ousmane Diomande right now. Moving on, Leandro Trossard's move to Besiktas is already having a massive domino effect in this summer transfer window. Nobody really saw this one coming, but after it happened, Arsenal then went out and completed the signing of 24-year-old Greek winger Christos Zolis as his replacement. The Gunners would surely not have signed Zolis without Trossard first leaving. But what's interesting here is that the domino effect might not end there. Arsenal is still in the market for another left winger, one who will feel like a massive upgrade on Trossard. It's why the names of Viní Jr. and Bradley Barcola have really come up. They expressed a real interest in Morgan Rogers, who's another player that can play on the left, but Chelsea have now got him. Well, you've asked for it and we've finally delivered. Relive the glory days with the most iconic designs in football history. Whether you're a fan of classic club colours or legendary international strips, we've got something to ignite your nostalgia. Perfect for match days, casual wear or adding to your collection. Shop the new retro range now at goal90.shop. Massive discounts await. Speaking of Chelsea, they're expected to sell Nicholas Jackson this summer, with Xabi Alonso having already established that the Senegalese is not part of his plans. Aston Villa have already shown interest in him, and he could reunite with his former Villarreal manager Unai Emery this summer. But even if Aston Villa end up not coming through, there's very likely to still be an exit. Now, Jackson leaving Chelsea is expected to facilitate a Danny Welbeck return to London, but this time to the blue side. And considering the relationship that exists between Chelsea and Brighton, this feels rather straightforward. But it doesn't end there. Welbeck joining Chelsea will then likely force Chelsea to sell either Liam Delap or Emmanuel Omega, or perhaps even both of them. Now, remember we said that the departure of a player from Man City depends on Torino? Yeah, that player that we're talking about is James Trafford. So, Leeds United goalkeeper Lucas Perry is being eyed up by Torino, and things have been advancing very quickly. Once that deal is completed, it would then allow Leeds to go and sign James Trafford from Manchester City and make him their number one. But while the Trafford move to Leeds is dependent on the Perry move to Torino, reports have said that Perry will only officially leave the club after Trafford has joined. And the domino effect just might not end there, as Trafford leaving will mean that City will have to go out and sign another backup goalkeeper. Who is that gonna be? It's hard to tell right now. Speaking of goalkeepers, Emmy Martinez's decision could set a lot of things in motion in this window. He's been linked with a move to Juventus for a number of weeks now. If he decides to make that move, it means that Aston Villa will have to go out and get a new goalkeeper, and Michel de Gregorio might then have to leave Juventus. However, if Martinez says no and decides to remain at Aston Villa, then it could force Juventus to go out and sign either Guglielmo Vicario from Spurs or get Zion Suzuki from Parma. It's also interesting to note that PSG also have their eyes on Suzuki but cannot guarantee him a starting spot, which Juventus are willing to offer if Emmy Martinez's deal falls through. Because of that, Suzuki seems more keen on the move to Juve, but it all depends on Emmy. Basically, whatever decision Dibu makes this summer is sure to set a lot of things in motion across different clubs. But until he gives a final verdict on his future, everything else is still in standstill. And then we have Marc Cucurella, whose move to Real Madrid, which was done over a month ago, is still having a knock-on effect to date. First of all, his arrival meant that the left-back position at Real Madrid was now overcrowded, so it forced the club to get rid of Fran Garcia, who has now joined Real Betis. But we're now hearing that it could also trigger a move for Alvaro Carreras. Cucurella joining Madrid meant that Carreras lost his starting position at the club, so the former Benfica man now has some motivation to leave and go where he's guaranteed to start. And guess what? The rumours are saying that Chelsea is the likeliest destination for him. And that makes sense because Chelsea themselves are still looking for a replacement for Cucurella, and Xabi Alonso likes Carreras, having worked with him at Real Madrid last year. So, Cucurella's €55 million move to Real Madrid, having already influenced Fran Garcia's move to Betis, could also set off a Carreras move to Chelsea. If Cucurella had not left Chelsea, these two deals would probably not have been spoken of at all this summer. It's really interesting how just one transfer can set a lot of other moves in motion, isn't it? Well, we now want to hear from you guys. Are there more transfers that have already influenced other ones this summer? Or are there upcoming transfers that you expect will have some kind of domino effect in this window? Get in the comments and tell us about them. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on the bell notification so that you never miss out on new content. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.